Lay down your weapons, and you shall not be harmed. I will not warn you again. Drop your weapons, or we shall take them from you.
Do as they say. I sense we will come to no harm.
Why is it that everywhere we go, I end up in a cell? I mean, why did they lock us up? What is this place?
It is a training ground for Jedi.
What? This ice hole?
Yes, it bears the semblance of an academy. But where are all the students? Curious.
You've got to be joking. What is a Jedi Academy doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
It is a place hidden from the galaxy like the Academy on Dantooine. But this place... Oh, Atris, you have been clever.
Atris?
It's none of your concern.
Well, the sooner we're out of here, the better. 2 crazy Jedi are more than enough for me. No one told me we were going to be dumped in a nest of Jedi.
And what is it about this place that causes you such fear?
What do you mean? We're in the middle of a bunch of Jedi. You know how they are.
No, I do not. Not in the way you seem to.
What are you doing? Get out of my head!
Stop struggling. Let me follow the current. Deep, deeper to its source.
Stop! Ah!
Ah, with the fear is mingled guilt. It squirms in you like a worm. And the why? Ah, and there is its heart. You surprise me. I could not feel it before. Your feelings are a powerful shield indeed. Do not worry, Atten. If he is a Jedi, he will forgive. And if he is not, he will not care.
You can't tell him, please. I'm asking you. I don't want him to...
Think less of you. I hardly think that's possible. Still, there is no shame in what you ask. We all wage war with the past, and it leaves its scars. I will not speak of yours, Atten, but there is a price for such things.
What? What price?
There are those who wage war and those who follow them. You are a crude thing, murderer, but you have your uses. You know how important this man we travel with is. Even one such as you can feel it. You will serve him until I release you.
And if I refuse?
You will not. If you do, then my silence will be broken. And then, Atten, you will be broken. You fear the Jedi, and rightly so. If Atris learns of your choices, you will never leave this place. But whatever fear you hold of the Jedi, know that if you disobey me, that my punishment will make you beg for the death that has long hounded you. Wipe the fear from your mind. You will not find blind obedience a difficult master. You chose it once. You will learn to embrace it again.
I don't know how you became such a manipulative witch, but why a vicious old scowl like yourself would even bother with me is a bigger mystery.
No game of Dejaric can be won without pawns, and this may prove to be a very long game. You are a slippery one. Your thoughts difficult for even one such as I to read. I suspect the self-loathing that squirms within you gives you a curious strength. Your spirit, as diseased as it is, refuses to allow you to give up, no matter what threats you face and whatever wreckage you leave behind you. I feel you have crossed our path for a reason. Perhaps even you, at the right moment, may be able to turn aside disaster. If so, your potential is not yet spent.
Fine. I'll be your pawn. But I still think you've got the wrong man.
Perhaps. But someone has to fly the ship, and the Force is a hard thing to predict. You have crossed our path for a reason. Our path brought us here for a reason. And now I know why. The past is here, and it must be met before the future can be set in motion.
More Jedi speak. Care to explain?
No. I've wasted enough time with you. Sleep, murderer, and be silent. I need no distractions. A critical moment approaches.
I did not expect to see you again after the day of your sentencing. I thought you had taken the exile's path, wandering the galaxy. Yet you have returned. Why? Yet here you are. Perhaps you do not know yourself as well as you think. Regardless, your arrival here begs an explanation. Have you come to face the judgment of the Council, as you did so many years ago? Are you finally willing to admit that we were right to cast you out? Why? Because you turned your back on us. And the Order. You followed Revan to war against the Mandalorians. The very war that made Revan a Lord of the Sith, and ruined you. So you said, so long ago. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. You sought adventure, you hungered for battle, you could not wait to follow Revan to war. The Jedi Order asked only for time to examine the Mandalorian threat. They urged caution, patience, and you defied them. So when you returned, you were brought before us. You were a Jedi no longer, and so you were exiled. There was much about that day that was difficult to forget. Your words, your defiance, and when you stabbed your lightsaber into the center stone. I have kept it, so I would never forget. I have always kept it, as a reminder of what can happen when your passions dictate your actions. I have kept it, so I would never forget your arrogance or your insult to the Order. Become a Jedi again? That is a thing far out of reach. But I am not unsympathetic to your feelings. Leaving the Order must have been difficult for you. Yet you gave the Council no other choice. You gave me no other choice. So your choice was to meet the aggression of the Mandalorians with more aggression. That is not the Jedi way. Every choice we make, whether we know it or not, sends echoes through the Force. It can awaken feelings, ignite passions, hate, anger, fear, where none existed before. By meeting aggression, by serving as an opponent against which the Mandalorians could test themselves, you fed their hate, their lust for war, and it sent a terrible echo through you. And because of it, you and those Jedi who met them on the battlefield lost their way, and you turned on us. Of course I was. But the Jedi teachings require we examine how we may best help them. Action without reflection is not our way. There was no guarantee that marching to war would have saved the Outer Rim. In fact, quite the opposite. A physical victory, perhaps, but the real victory lay in... You do not know... How dare you? The Mandalorian Wars should have been your grave, and Malachor 5 is where you should have died. You see shadows where there are none, and hate where there is none. You are blind, as always. I tire of fighting with you. You lust for war, and you always will, and you have succeeded in distracting me from my questions. So answer me. If you cannot seem to admit the Council was correct, then why are you here? Your ship? Ah, the Ebon Hawk. It is not your ship. Unless you are admitting to the destruction of the Paragus mining facility. Ah, an accident. Something beyond your control. You have not changed. Acting instead of thinking, putting yourself before the galaxy, before the Jedi. Do you know what you have done? No, your crime is much more than that. Without the fuel from Paragus, Citadel Station cannot maintain its orbit. It will crash into the planet, and its destruction will echo across 20 other worlds. Telos was a test to see if the Republic could mount a restoration effort on the Outer Rim. When it fails, the Republic will not finance another. The other Rim worlds, devastated by the Sith, will remain graveyard worlds, devoid of life. And that is the magnitude of your crime. The Sith? What do you mean? You speak truly. You have encountered the Sith. I can feel the scars on you. Tell me, where did you encounter them? Paragus? What would they want there? They can't have been looking for you. There are no more Jedi, except I. Like you, they turned from the Order, and now only I remain. If these Sith attacked you, they will soon realize their mistake. And if you escaped, they most likely let you go to see if you would lead them here. I said I was the last of the Jedi, Exile, and I did not speak falsely. There are others who were once Jedi, but no longer. They will not take action against this threat. You offer your aid after turning your back on me, on the Council. The Jedi is not something you embrace out of fear. The commitment is stronger than that, something you never seem to understand. Perhaps. But if you help me, it cannot be done from here. There are others in the galaxy who may help us against a Sith threat. If you can find them, gain their trust, perhaps our defenses shall be stronger for it. Take your ship, seek them out. If you find them, encourage them to gather on Dantooine. From there we can call a council and see what can be done. You shall find them north of here, in one of the old irrigation chambers. They have not been harmed. They are free to leave as well. Then I shall send you on your way. It is now time for you to depart.
We shall remove him, Mistress. Come with us. Are you all right, Mistress?
The exile brought up feelings best left forgotten.
Forgive me, Mistress, but I must ask. The exile, I have never seen another affect you so strongly. Did you care for him once?
The Jedi have no such attachments. As always, he will do as he wills. And the galaxy, and the feelings of others, can burn for all he cares. The day we judged him, I stood in the chamber and he was so right. He was so certain of it, I doubted myself. He chose Revan over the Jedi, over the Council, over... But now I am tired. I must meditate.
Of course, Mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here.
Why have you approached me? You may ask. We serve the Jedi, and we watch. I assume you meant no insult. It is forbidden for us to become Jedi, even if we possessed the awareness of the galaxy that the Jedi possess. We are here because we are not Jedi. That is our purpose. We have taken an oath to never follow the teachings of the Jedi, only to watch those of the Order and carry out Atris's will should it be necessary. Atris believes the new Jedi Order that shall arise here will need to be guarded and watched by those not touched by the Force. She thinks it will give balance. The Jedi have long since lacked anyone to judge their actions and provide support should their power corrupt them. We are this strength. The Jedi Civil War proved that the Jedi are in need of such guidance. It is our duty to watch for aggression, rage, passion, and end it before it takes root. I would have struck you down as you entered this place, if Atris had not stayed my hand. Though you are not a Jedi, you have been sickened in Revan's service. If for a moment I felt you could bring harm to Atris or this place, then I would end you. It is not harsh. It is necessary. Atris is trusted. She has watched Jedi rise and fall and knows the ways of both paths to see the signs when they begin. She is a worthy one to judge the Jedi when the Jedi refuse to judge their own. Atris is the only Jedi here, this is true, but the Mistress will bring others in time. It is possible, but if so, your road of atonement shall be a long one. You may ask, we share the same father, and we all bear the face of our mother. It is not unusual for the Achani of the same parents to be born so as to be indistinguishable to outsiders. As I have said, it is not unusual for the Achani of the same parents to be born so as to be indistinguishable to outsiders. If you seek to raise anger in me, you will fail, exile. I tolerate your presence only upon orders of the Mistress. She did not order me to endure your questions. One cannot take back an action, and often apologizing for it only compounds the insult. Simply drop the matter and be silent. You may ask, we share this. As I have said, why have you approached me? You may ask, we share the same father, and we all bear the
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about. She said you betrayed the Jedi, by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts, and she told us why you fell to the dark side. Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up. Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with them because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation. Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all. Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion. Then her expressed feelings will have to suffice. Perhaps it may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear, these are pure moments of expression. You may ask. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others. I do not wish to discuss it. If there is something else you wish to ask, you may do so. It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time. There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that. You may ask. Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like? Please, I wish to know. I see. Thank you, Exile. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me. You are the Exile. She said... You may ask. I honor the... There's no need to apologize. It is not a sensitive... You may ask.
Why have you approached me? You may ask. We serve the Jedi.
Did you find what you came for? I felt as much, quite strongly, in fact. I suspected there was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still. There is a Jedi here, perhaps, in that you are correct. Yet there are no students, and this woman, this Atris, surrounds herself with those who cannot feel the Force. Curious. Plans are fragile things, and life often dashes expectations to the ground. Perhaps students will come to her in time. For now, she is surrounded by those who cannot feel the Force. Yes, her servants are not Jedi. Their minds are walls trained to resist tricks of the mind. This discipline blinds them to the Force as well, even if they were Force-sensitive. Invade the mind of another. It is not something done carelessly, or when there is nothing to be gained. Very well, let us depart. He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
I am sorry, General. I must have lost consciousness in the crash. I'm fine, General. Even power has been restored to my arm. What is this place? Where are we? This must be where I had detected the energy readings before, and the drain to the restoration shields. This room, this place, it looks part of a huge polar irrigation system, possibly planet-wide, like the one on Coruscant. I had been told by the Republic that it was not in use. I am, General. If you wish, I may travel with you, or join you at the ship. Very well, General. I will await your arrival.
Why have you approached me?
Hey, do all these women look alike? Not like I'm complaining, I mean, it's interesting.
They are Ichani. It is not unusual for their children to share similar features from the same parents.
If you have a reason for approaching me, speak it.
Well, if it isn't the one who stole the Ebonhawk. Not so smug now, are you little thief?
Don't be a fool. Atris stole the ship and the droid.
Says you. Just say the word.
Yes?
You are the exile. She said... That is not all she said. Atris said... Atris says... I believe that is the... Yes. Without having seen you in a battle is a pure form of expression.
What is it? Curious thing. What lies behind it? Did she? Perhaps it is a meditation chamber of some sort.
I hear you.
I hear you.
Just say the word. Damn thing's stuck.
Yes?
You have returned.
You are the exile. She said... That is not all she says. She says you know nothing...
Why have you... You may ask... The mistress? She is meditating, and she does not wish to be disturbed. Your presence here has troubled her, and I hope you do not choose to trouble her further. She leads us. As she rebuilds Telos, she rebuilds the Order, and through them, the galaxy. We serve the Jedi. We do not question them. Yet, Atris has told us that the work here at Telos may pay for similar efforts in many worlds along the Rim that were destroyed when the Jedi turned on each other. She has said the Jedi Order needs such a foundation if it is to rebuild. She faults the teaching of many of the Jedi Masters as the spark of the Jedi Civil War.
Indeed. A most curious reason for a war.
Atris has said that if Revan and Malak had been properly instructed in the ways of the Jedi, they never would have fallen, and nor would you, Exile. That is unknown to me. I have never observed Atris to teach Jedi, nor would I wish to.
Yes, to teach one needs students. I have seen few of those since our arrival.
Atris has chosen instead to focus her efforts on galactic recovery. Once the galaxy breathes again, disciples will come. She predicted you would say as much. She seems to know you quite well. Perhaps you are the one who knows nothing. You may ask...
are the She said you betrayed the Jedi. That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts, and she told us why you fell to the dark side. Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up. Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force. I believe that is the extent of her expressed feeling. Yes. Without having seen you in a battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion. You may ask. I am aware of this. I do not doubt your combat prowess, as my half-sisters do. There are many who went to war against the Mandalorians, and few returned. You were one of them. I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others. I do not wish to discuss it. There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that. It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that... You may ask. You are the... She said... You may ask.
You have returned. You may ask. This was once a mighty irrigation center for Telos. It survived the orbital bombardment of the Sith, though the inhabitants did not. Ancient irrigation channels still lie beneath the surface of Telos, waiting to be used again for the reconstruction efforts, controlled from this facility.
So, Atris resides within the frozen heart of this world.
That is a peculiar way of seeing it, but it can be described by such an abstract, yes. Shortly before the destruction of Dantooine by the forces of the traitor Jedi Malak, Atris had many Jedi artifacts and knowledge transported here secretly. Yes, many relics from Dantooine, some which predate even the destruction of Ossus. She was not able to save all, but she saved enough.
If these relics predate Ossus, then she has saved much knowledge and much of the Jedi teachings.
She was able to bring them here before the Academy's destruction. It was a fortunate thing. She was not able to save everything. Viewing the relics is not allowed without Atris's permission. Of course, I exist to serve the Jedi. Atris speaks of you, but Jedi is not the term she uses. She says you followed Revan to war, the same Revan who took the Mandalorian flame and brought it to the Jedi. Atris speaks what she sees, and she sees much truth in things, and others. There is truth in what you say, yet many such artifacts are sealed away in Atris's chambers. But if you wish to see a few of them, speak to the last of the handmaidens. She has seen some of these objects and has an interest in such things. Yes, she should be in the training chamber to the north and west of here. She constantly seeks to improve herself so that she may no longer be ranked last among us. Because she is easily distracted by matters that do not concern her or her duty. Such distractions weaken her, and she knows this. I will not speak of them. Ask her yourself, if it matters to you. You may ask.
You are the exile. I am the last of the handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day that will no longer be true. It dishonors me that they would say such a thing to an outsider, But I cannot deny the truth in what they say. My thoughts are not always focused on training. Perhaps once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts. There is much knowledge here, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy. To the Ichani, battle is a means of communication. It is an art, in the truest sense of the word. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause. Yes, the methods you use to meet your opponent speak truer than any words can express. When you risk pain or death, there is no truer sacrifice or strength. It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. It was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Taris was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry, or strokes upon a canvas. He spoke through battle and tactics, in a way one could never do in words. He showed his heart at Malachor V, and finally, at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe he was speaking to Malak in that final battle, though few knew it. Through battle, Revan was meeting betrayal with betrayal, and showing Malak the pain he had inflicted on his master. What stronger display than death for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed.
To claim to know anything of Revan's choices, or what lay in his heart when Malak fell, is conceit, servant of Atris. And whether Revan had any choice in the matter at all is something else you should consider. The Force is a powerful thing to wield, or deny.
But to say that seems an untruth based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not?
Ah, but at what point does the power the Force exerts submerge any attempt at choice or free will? You have taken a complicated question, servant of Atris, and you have trivialized it with your answer and lack of experience.
If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true. You may ask. I know a little of them, yes. Much Jedi knowledge is stored here, secrets of their teachings, combat styles, and discipline. The Jedi relics are kept by Atris, within the walls of her meditation chamber. Entry is forbidden. Atris has made her orders on the matter clear, and she says you are no Jedi. Entry to her meditation chamber is forbidden. To even ask shows you doubt my loyalty to her. Most come from Dantooine, brought here before the academy there was destroyed by Malak. Not all relics were able to be saved, for there was not time to rescue them all. The Jedi relics are kept by Atris, within the walls of her meditation chamber. Entry is forbidden. Atris has made her orders on the matter entry to her meditation chamber. I have seen a few of them. Yes, they were not always in Atris's meditation chamber. There were many relics, among them small cubes, warm to the touch, each containing their own light.
Jedi holocrons, yet warm to the touch, you said.
Yes, and with a light about them. When held, Some would speak, ask strange questions. Yes, their questions were confusing. They seemed to think I was someone else, someone's student.
Ah, of course they did. A simple misunderstanding, no doubt.
I had thought perhaps I had damaged them in some way, but I could not think of what I had done. You may ask.
Ah, hey. You're back with us. We were just on our way to rescue you from those ghost women when, we got locked up. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. How did things go with the Jedi here? Are you all done? Well, that's not exactly what I wanted to hear. No, I was just complaining. I'm with you until things start going better for you. We need to stick together, you know? And who knows? I might be able to help you out of a tight spot at some point. Ah, hey, don't mention it. It's my pleasure.
Let us keep moving. Very well, but we should...
You have returned. You may ask.
Damn thing's stuck.
What is it?
Mistress, the last of the handmaidens is not among us.
She has left with the exile.
Left?
But why? Her oath.
Her reasons are unknown to me, but I fear she may no longer be trusted. We will save her if we can, but we must let her discover the exile's nature for herself. Some evils must be confronted, and isolation from it would have been no defense.
Well, now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
What is the machine saying?
Do you know why we have called you here?
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out, and so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Much defiance in that one.
You are correct, Kavar. When he was here, I felt it. It was as if he was not there, more like an echo.
The war has touched the youngest of the Order. Many of them have lost themselves in battle against the Mandalorians.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. He has lost himself. He is no Jedi. He walked Revan's path, but he was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. He has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let him depart. He will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with him, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let him go because we must. Where he travels, he carries his destination with him.
Malachor 5 should have been his grave. You saw it in his walk, and in the Force. It was as if he was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and he cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told him the truth. A Jedi deserves to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believe was true. There's still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years, we will call him before us and explain what happened to him, and how he may be healed. Until then, he must accept his journey.
But he may never discover the truth, and he will never know why we cast him out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
Those are Atris's records you have stolen.
What the hell are you doing on our ship?
I have come to join you. I can help you against this threat.
Well, we don't want your help. Or any of your sisters.
It is just me, and I am doing this because Atris believes you will need help. I think the strength of the enemy is unknown, but it is greater than 5 can hope to defeat without aid.
Indeed. But of course, what does one more matter to our journey? I have had enough of this. I will be in my chambers.
Yeah, me too. I'll be in my chambers. But since I don't have any, I guess I'll just go to the cockpit like I always do. If she's coming with us, she gets the cargo hold. Might remind her how fun it is to get locked up.
General.
The cargo hold is enough. I assure you, there is little I need. I will attend to myself. It is no matter. I am used to worse conditions, but thank you for your kindness.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore? That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that. I never said you were, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete. I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need. I spent a lot of time around Jedi during the war. None of them would let me take their lightsaber apart, but I did learn about their construction. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal, though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable. All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior. I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place. I didn't want to talk about the war, but can I ask you something? Why did you decide to fight? I felt the same way. I remembered when word of the Mandalorian attacks arrived on Iridonia. My people had colonies across the Outer Rim. Many of them were among the first systems to fall. I did not join because I wanted to protect, though. I hated them. I wanted to destroy them, to give them the mercy they gave the people they conquered. I remember the thrill I felt when we fought them in battle. Victories were rare, but we celebrated every Mandalorian's death. Do you know how it felt? I couldn't do that. It was almost as though the battle took control of me, drove me forward. It's always on my mind now. That loss of control blinded me, turned me into a weapon. I just needed to get that off my chest. Was there something you wanted me for? Just working on the ship. I'm not sure who got her up and running, but I'm amazed she's even space-worthy. Whoever made these repairs doesn't think like most mechanics. But don't worry, I'll get everything in shape.
Something up? Alright, what did you want to know? Something up?
So you've returned. While I was disturbed that you chose to defy our orders and obtain transport off Citadel Station, the matter has since been closed. It was the decision of Republic authorities that your testimony would no longer be necessary, and thus you'd be allowed to go. But as we discovered, you had already left. In some ways it was lucky for us, avoiding a possibly embarrassing situation. Why does the Republic do anything? The head doesn't know what the feet are doing. The hands don't even know they've got fingers, let alone where they are. My opinion, they probably performed their independent investigation and figured it wasn't your fault. Anyways, you should just be glad I decided to overlook the fact you escaped arrest. Yeah. And if there's nothing else, I've got a job to do. What is it? I see. And where and when did you kill them? That fits with what we gathered from witnesses and the few security recordings we could find. Though I'm embarrassed we let the criminals escape, I'm glad you found them. Here it is. I think you'll find the amount more than adequate. The TSF once again thanks you for your cooperation.
Yes? You may ask. Before entering Atris's service, yes, I carried a name, as all the children of the Ichani do. It is not important. My title and rank is of consequence, not my name. I take value in Atris's service, not in myself. We all have value in our oaths to others, and the promises we make. When we make that pledge, we are pledging ourselves to something greater. When importance is placed on the self, then by such acts the galaxy is unmade. I do not know. That is a question you must ask yourself. You may ask. It is not possible to dock at the Academy without the proper codes. Yes, but I could not give them to you. You may ask. She said you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself. You may ask.
I felt it too, my lord. A disturbance in the Force. It was difficult to make out, my lord. At first it was such a quiet thing. I did not notice it, but now I wonder if it has always been there. I merely could not hear it before. The sound built so slowly, yet when you listen for it, you can make out the strains, even over the background life of the universe. Do you feel it as if... You are the darkness in which all life dies, my lord. All life exists to feed your power, and my life is yours. I beg you, please, let me die. Yes, this disturbance echoes through the Force. I can follow it to its source and bring it to you. I will leave at once, my lord.
Yes? You may ask. Yes?